That's what we came out here for. Alright, got the skunk out the boat. I think I got into a little school here. They're hanging out right off of this little grass edge. This guy's lucky he hasn't been eaten already. Time is 8:45. When I put the boat on the water this morning at the boat ramp, the water temperature was 63 degrees. Again, that's where the feeder river is. So, you know, it's always a little cooler there. I ran to the back of a creek, major creek on the lake, and when I got to the back of the creek, the water temperature was 60 degrees, 59, 60 degrees, a lot cooler than what I expected. And as I'm idling back there, I'm not seeing any shad, and as I just idled back out of there, I did not see any shad in the backs of the creeks. I did run across some schools about 3/4 away to the mouth of the creek, where it breaks back out onto the main lake, and that's where I started seeing shad again. So who knows how today is going to go. I'm sure every creek on this lake is probably in a different stage because they're different water temperatures. But anyway, I'm going to get out here on the main lake and look around a little bit. Hopefully I can find some out on the ledges. Stick around and let's see what we can get into. Alright, that was about my probably 4th cast out here on the ledge. So hopefully that's a good sign that they're still out here. decent fish. This one here just picked it up really lightly. There was no thump at all. I mean, I just all of a sudden felt like I had a wet t-shirt on the end of my line. But nice little fish right there. Best one of the day so far. So it's 11:18. So far pretty slow. I mean, I had that little flurry in the back of a creek, but it was just a bunch of little ones. I've fished quite a few ledges so far, and I've had 2 bites. I've been able to get both of them in the boat, but I mean, I've done a lot of casting. I'm 99% confident that this lake is turned over. I'm seeing fish at all different depths that you don't see them at when the thermocline is there. And these bass, I just think they're scattered. I am not seeing numbers of bass out on the ledges. I'm going to stick to the ledges here for a little bit because it does seem like the further I get down the lake towards the dam, it seems like the ledge, there's more fish on the ledges. We'll check a few more spots. We'll see what I can get into. Stick around.
Move like the move like
It's a big one. Thought it was a little one until I got right up next to the boat. Yes, sir. That's what we came out here for. All right, let's get a weight on this sucker real quick. Put her back in the water. I don't know if you can read that, but it's like 489. Bouncing right close to 5 pounds. Just a couple shad short of 5 pounds. Just a long, skinny bass. That bass, it did the same thing as the bass I caught over there. It felt like a wet sock on the end line. I set the hook, but it literally just swam towards the boat. I mean, I was convinced I had about 1.5 pound bass on until it got right next to the boat, and that's when I saw it. And that's at the same time that I saw it is when it really started digging. And you know, unfortunately I didn't have much line out, and it was a little bit of a struggle to get that sucker in because it was fresh. It was ready to go. Let's see if we can find some more like that one. Alright, so I went to the back of a few creeks, idled around, looked for shad, even I probably spent like maybe even an hour and a half in the back of one creek and worked some shallow pads, some shallow vegetation with a Senko, and I did not get bit at all. It's about almost 3 o'clock. And that's usually when the ledge bite picks back up from my experience. So I went ahead, came back out here, and hopefully I just caught that one. Hopefully that's a good sign that we'll be able to get on some other ones. I don't think this lure even hit the bottom. This school is aggressive. Too bad they're not bigger. Okay, so I could probably sit here and probably catch another 2 or 3 of those before they stop biting, but I'm running out of time. And I'd like to catch something a little bigger than 1 to 1.5 pounders. Since they're biting, I'm hoping that's the case everywhere right now. I'm hoping that that's a good sign that they're active here. Maybe they'll be active in other places too. So let's see if we can go get on something bigger. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up right there. Pretty dang decent day on the lake. I caught a lot of fish. I managed to catch one nice solid Lake Talquin bass. The rest of them, were around in the pound, 2 pound range. Fun to catch, and I'm definitely not going to complain about them because it sure beats coming out here and getting skunked. But, I'm running out of daylight. It's time for me to head back to the ramp. I'll go ahead and give you guys an update on what's going on with the lake. When I started out this morning, the water temperature, I think it was 63 degrees. I think I mentioned that earlier. 63 degrees where I put in on the lake. When I went all the way back to one of the main creeks on here, the temperature was 60 degrees. And then as I got down towards the dam, the lake was around 69, 70 degrees. And one thing I noticed was the upper end of the lake and the lower end of the lake seem to be on 2 different phases right now. The creek I went back in this morning, it is a shallow creek. I saw almost no shad in the back. nothing. It looks pretty dead back there as far as shad is concerned. In fact, I had to get about 3/4 of the way back out of the creek before I started seeing, you know, shad and signs of life. Hey, if you've watched any of my other videos, you probably know how I already caught them. Every single one except for the ones I caught this morning, I caught on a worm. These fish, they're, even the ones I did catch for the most part, there were only a couple of spots that I hit where they were actually aggressive, and I felt like I probably could have thrown something else. This could be it for the aggressive feeding. We're getting close to winter time, a little over the midway mark in November. December's right around the corner, so you know these bass, they're just gonna start really slowing down. I was expecting them to get on a really hard feeding frenzy like I've seen before on other lakes. You know, this time of year they just get really super aggressive, but that hasn't been the case here. I don't know, we may have to make a trip to Lake Seminole and punch some grass. I might even just come back out here and just finish out the year on Lake Talquin like I'd planned in the first place. We'll see what happens, but I appreciate you guys for watching. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to get all the updates, but like the video at a bare minimum if you enjoyed watching it, and that way it'll make it easier for the algorithms of YouTube to show it to other people. But I appreciate all of you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Every time we say goodbye, they all see that it's a lie. 'Cause we always give it one last try. Yeah, you've watched me break 1,000 times. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't.